So I started a clip back in Colorado when I was doing some metal detecting. I found just a basic modern coin, basically nothing special, no silver, no nothing like that. I took a trip out here to Nebraska, which I'm over here staying in Fairbury, but working up and down the road where I'm doing my survey work at, I come across a place called Plymouth, Nebraska, and I got into one of the older banks there. The bank's been there for 125 years. The lady said she could do me for $100 in quarters and $30 in nickels, but they're all customer wrapped rolls, and I'm hoping it has some silver in there. Out here in Nebraska doing some metal detecting. Just got here to one of the parks. Um, everybody's got all these little playground equipment, little awnings and stuff like that to play on. But what kids really need is a tank. Why not play on one of those? Well, let's see what I get. If I get anything interesting, I'll bring you in on the video. Alright, so I've made it to a hotel room for the night. I'm going to stay here for another night, and then I got another little project to go to tomorrow back toward North Platte here in Nebraska. But I've got all my chains set out here on the towel. I'm actually going to go through it tonight, because then I can just take the coin and dump it off at the bank, and again, I can just circle it through so I can keep getting more coins whenever they have coins. But earlier on the metal detecting hunts, I've just got more quarters, and like I said, I'm going to start a little album with these just as like a play around thing, because I found a ton of the quarters already. And like I said, there's another quarter and then a penny. But I'm going to use my loop to see if I have any doublings. It's actually a smaller or more defined loop at 21 millimeters, so it's a lot better to see any doubling or anything on there instead of my 14 or my 10 measure. But also, I stopped at a antique store earlier, and I was going to try to video, but they wouldn't let me walk in the door. And the coins are basically right there in front. But I don't have one of these yet until now, but the Columbia Expo coin, it's in pretty good shape. It's just the case itself makes it look like it's a little more scratched up or whatnot, but it's in good shape. A lot of them online I've been seeing around 50 to 55, 60 bucks a piece for these. I mean, I know they're a little more rare for the in better shape ones, but like I said, I don't have one, so I wound up getting it. And then too, they had this for $50, and I'd looked online a couple of days ago, and they were selling around $125 to $150 on eBay. There's multiple of them on there. Usually some of these have like the Indian head on the left side over here, but this one has the same head shape as the Colombian coin does. So, I mean, it's pristine. It's got no wrinkles. No, well, as far as the no bent corners, looks like it might have been pulled out of something there with the coin, or the quarters there, corners. Like right here and then right here at the top. But yet again, like I said, it's pretty nice, pretty cool to have one. I don't have one, and I do have a lot of currency. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this, and I'll bring you in if I find anything. Like I said, these are older rolls, and I looked at a couple of ends on these, just opened them up just to check them, and they were pretty dated. I didn't see any of them that were before 1979. I think that was the oldest date out of three of them that I looked at. So we'll see if we get anything, and I'll bring it back in if I find something. So I just finished up with the quarters. I was actually wrapping the quarters up, and I was going to jump on the video real quick to let you know. I looked through all the quarters. It was kind of deceiving. Like I said, it was 10 rolls, 100 bucks worth. I didn't find really anything. I mean, no silver. There was no DDOs, no DDRs, anything like that. I was able to find 4 of the 2021 quarters, which I don't get a lot of. Like I said, usually I think I've got 8 or 10 of them, but usually I don't get brand new uncirculated rolls, so I don't have the 2020 quarters, 2021 quarters, which usually, like I said, I keep those. I got a couple that might upgrade in my album at the house. They're pretty nice. They're no dings or anything on there. There's little blemish marks. Still have a lot of luster to them. And then the Acadia quarter that can actually go into the National Park album. It's pretty beat up, but yet again, it's Philadelphia one that I needed for my Blue album. I called the wife in the house and she helped me out. So, like I say, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these up, get these all taken care of. Then I'm gonna move on to the nickels over there and see if I can find anything in there. I'll bring you in if there's anything special that I find. Okay, so I went through the nickels. I didn't find anything in the nickels either. I had a 41S that I double checked for um, the bigger S and the doubled MM on there. Didn't see that. Pretty much the only thing I found today was like I said, the Expedition Columbia Fair ticket there, and then, like I said, the $50 coin that I've been looking for a little bit. Like I said, it's in pretty decent shape. Um, I'm going to be turning in the coin tomorrow, and I'm heading up to North Platte in Nebraska. So I'm going to go up there and change those out and see if I can get a box of quarters or a box of nickels, or if I can just bounce around a couple of banks while I'm up there before I head back into Colorado. And then I'll open the coins there when I get over that way. So just want to let you know there was nothing really found. Like I say, I looked for proofs. I didn't even find proof in there. Look for proofs, look for silver, look for the DDOs, look for the 1938s, because I've been looking for a 1938 to put into the box. Look any upgrades. So I did get the 2021 quarters, and I did have the Acadia quarter that I was going to upgrade in my album when I get back to the house. But just let you know that I didn't find anything out of the $130 in change that I got today. But like I said, I'll bring you back in whenever I get back to Colorado. Hopefully I get like I say, several $100s worth of coins from North Platte area up there from the banks. It's nice to actually get coin from out of state, because like I say, when you get in town, there's 3 or 4 banks that I hit, and they just tell you, we can give you $20 in coins, or we can give you, $10 roll of quarters and then $10 in nickels. It kind of eats at you that you can only bounce around, like I say, only 5 or 6 different banks and maybe have $100 worth of coins total. So it's kind of nice to be able to get these bigger bundles whenever I get out of town. Like I say, I'll bring you back in when I get back to the house. So I'm still out in Nebraska. I'm actually on a pretty good sized cow lot here. I think it's 500,000 head of cattle that's on here. They've got 18 wheelers rolling in and out. Left and right dumping a bunch of feed and stuff. You can see the cows in the distance back there. But I was able to find one of the monuments I was looking for. They give you a record, and there's a bunch of references. And there's a reference right there, be a nail in a disc and the power pole. And it's the same thing over here. Come over to the next power pole. It's another nail and disc in the power pole here. So they'll take them and add them to a record. You can pull the distance off. Like I say, it's just like finding. I use my little yellow shank set there, which is basically a metal detector. Come over here to the hole, and there's the monument. And it gives you a section breakdown and where you're sitting at and in the world, and basically it tells you who stamped the cap and stuff. But just want to bring you in. That's what I'm doing during the days. If I'm not metal detecting or doing coins or playing with the family, like I say, I'm out here doing a bunch of survey work. Okay, so I made it back to the house. I was in Nebraska for a couple of days, and like I showed you before, I had picked up a couple of the quarters that was metal detecting hunts, but I also stopped by 2 different banks. I was able to get $200 in quarters and $100 in nickels, basically between both of the banks. I'm going to run through both of these and try to find, like I say, any of the silvers, any of the extra quarters that I need to fill my album or fill my binder that I have. And then, like I say, the 1938, 1939 nickels, trying to get the better shapes, better minted ones also for the box, and load those up. But I'll bring you back in if I have anything. Okay, so searching through the quarters yesterday, I was able to find 5 of them that I need to add to the album, or add to the quarter flip folder here, basically. The Whitman quarters that I have. And I'll have 8 still left to find once I put these 5 in. But then I also found quite a few that could possibly upgrade in the album. And then the North Dakota had just a tone on it, a brown tone. It's kind of hard to see with the camera here, but it's a little different color than it is from the other quarters. Then I found a nice 1980 there that probably can upgrade my 1980 that I have already. And I'm going to go ahead and get these in here filled out, and then I'm going to move on to the nickels. Okay, so searching through the quarters yesterday, I was able to find 5 of them that I need to add to the album, or add to the quarter flip folder here, basically. The Whitman quarters that I have. And I'll have 8 still left to find once I put these 5 in. But then I also found quite a few that could possibly upgrade in the album. And then the North Dakota had just a tone on it, a brown tone. It's kind of hard to see with the camera here, but it's a little, a little different color than it is from the other quarters. And then I found a nice 1980 there that probably can upgrade my 1980 that I have already. And I'm going to go ahead and get these in here filled out, and then I'm going to move on to the nickels. So I wrapped up the rest of the rolls that I had left, and I was able to find another Canadian nickel. But I'd also found this earlier when I showed you. I had to look it up just to double check, but this is actually a Golden Jubilee. It's 1952 to 2002. And it has the date on the front, like these have the date on the back. Pretty cool to find that. I found a couple more proof nickels. Found another 1963 on top of that nice proof 63 that I had. And then I found a few more of the nickels that I'm going to go through my box here to double check, make sure if I can upgrade any of these. But interesting find would be this 1955 that I found a couple of rolls before, if I can adjust it, a couple of rolls before my last roll there. $1955D. Throw it up in the scope real quick. So that D, kind of interesting because it has something in the inside of it, as you can see. I was able to clean it off with some hot water, and I moved it around and tried to use my loupe to see if that may be the S up underneath that. But it's definitely the 1955. I'll probably check it a little later on. I'll go ahead and hold on to it, and I've got quite a few more coins that if I go through and clean up and get everything wrapped up and whatnot, I'll look through it again to see. The next video I'm going to be bringing you is going to be the presidential dollar coins. So the banks, being that there's a big coinage shortage, they're able to give me half dollars and dollar coins mainly. So I'll probably be going through the presidential coins. There is a box that I have available, but I'm going to wait to put another 2 boxes together and bring it on. Hopefully I'm able to find the 2000 Cheerios dollar coin. Would be great. Get the brother to this coin. Which that's about it. Like I said, I'm going to wrap up putting the rest of these in there and double checking. If you like the video, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you here shortly.